Let's make sure it's using the correct audio. Yeah, it is. Great. We're good to go. G to G. I thought I got out the algebra book, but I didn't. Let me grab the Algebra. But not the one variety, the two variety. Dun, dun, dun. As Brody says, we've gone from really easy to really hard, like all of a sudden. All right, we're at 3 what? 3.7 and 3.8? Yeah. All right. 3.7, what did we do? 2 through 24, yeah, that sounds right. I think past me wasn't a total moron, just a little bit of one. Flip over, in case we have any friends from other places happen to join us. Number 2, -12. Number 4, 0. Number 6, -80. Number 8, 302. 10, 139. 12, 562. 14, -2 and 5. 16, -8, -3. 18, -3, -5, 4. 20 is -3, 7, 2. 22 is 6, 3, -4. And 24 is 5, 2, -1. What questions do we have on those? Sure. We can do 8. Number 8, determinant.
Would you like to tell Brad?
I would not. Thank you.
Okay.
There is another method for finding the determinant of a 3 by 3, well, almost any size, actually, where you do subdeterminants and whatever. And it is a nice method. It's not a bad method at all. I just prefer to only teach one method in Algebra 2. And this one is exceptionally procedural. The book, I believe, has some examples using the other method. And so if you're like, for whatever reason, struggling with the diagonal lines, and you want to like try a different way to find the determinant, you are welcome to look at that and do it and see if you want to try it that way. I just think this is the easiest one to understand out of the gate. And so this is the one I choose to teach in Algebra 2. So we're just expected to find the determinant. We're not solving a system or nothing else. What should we do?
Move the first 2 columns to the left.
Yeah, rewrite the first 2 columns on the outside. And also, if you practice this method for a while, then when I do teach the other method in pre-cal, it makes that method even faster and easier because you've got this down in your brain. So, works out great. All right, what now?
Draw diagonal lines from -5 to 4 and
Yeah. What do we do with along those diagonals? Multiply them. So -5 times -4 times 4 is what?
80.
Positive 80. And now are we adding or are we subtracting as we're trucking along? Adding sounds true. So plus -3 times -3 times 8 is what?
Positive 72.
Positive 72. And then 4 times -2 times -2 is 16. Now what? Now you subtract the other way, the up diagonals, right? So minus 8 times negative 4 times positive 4 is what?
Negative 128.
Negative 128. 28, which would be 16 times 8. That sounds correct. Somebody can double check if they want, but that sounds good to me. And then minus negative 2 times negative 3 times negative 5 is?
Negative 30.
Negative 30. That one's easy peasy. And then minus 4 times negative 2 times negative 3 is what? 24. Now what? Yeah, you do all the stuff, right? Ka-chink, ka-chink. 80 plus 72 plus 16 is what? That's what my brain agrees with. I don't know about anybody else, but. And then 128 plus 30 minus 24. 134. It is positive. And then 168 plus 134 is what? It's definitely not 300 even. There's no way that's right. What? 302. Great. Yay. All right, kids. What else? 20? Sure. That kind. You said 20?
Yeah. Probably just some little mistake.
6x minus 5y plus 2z equals negative 49 and negative 5x minus 3y minus 8z equals negative 22 and negative 3x plus 8y
What number is this?
minus 5z
Number 20.
equals 55. And we are asked to use Kramer's rule to solve the system. So what should we do?
Find the d determinant.
Yeah, find the regular determinant without any replacements. So
I had a lot of fun with these.
good, I'm glad you did. So just the coefficients. Okay. And then 6, negative 5, negative 3, negative 5, negative 3, 8. And then we do the down diagonals is the word that's trying to come to me. So 6 times negative 3 times 5, negative 5.
60. 90. Or, no, that's not right. 90.
It'd be negative 90.
What, there's two negatives.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't know where I got that from. Sorry. And then negative 5 times negative 8 times negative 3.
Negative 120.
Somebody else agree?
Yeah.
And then 2 times negative 5 times 8.
Negative 80.
Negative 80. I know it feels obnoxious to do plus and then do the negatives inside, but you will make less negative mistakes if you do those things. And when all your down diagonals are adding, all your up diagonals are subtracting. So if you will do that little extra thing, you will make less mistakes. Not zero, obviously, but you will make less small, careless mistakes, which is the kind of the bane of our existence, and especially in a problem like this. So all the up diagonals are minus, so put the minus first, and then negative 3 times negative 3 times 2 is what? 18. So minus again. And then 8 times negative 8 times 6. Negative 384. And minus again. Negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5 is negative 125. It's true enough. Okay. So 90 plus negative 120 plus negative 80. Negative 110. Ka-chink, 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 ka-chink. Negative 18 plus 384 plus 125. Nine plus 8 is 17. Are you sure that's right? Oh, that's negative. Just kidding. Negative 110 plus 491 is what? 381. Great. Now that we have that, what now? Do the x determinant. So how do we make that?
Instead of putting the x's, we put the answers to the
So the first column turns into negative 49, negative 22, and 55. The rest stay the same. Okay. We do again. Down diagonals. Negative 49 times negative 3 times negative 5. I would love it if, especially on these, if Stephen was not the only one punching this in. Because all it takes is one button push to make it wrong. And so if we got other brains checking, other fingers checking, that'd be grand. Plus, and then 5 times negative 8, negative 5 times negative 8 times 55 is how many?
2200.
I can agree to that.
And then 2 times negative 22 times 8.
Negative 352.
Negative 352. And then the up diagonals we're subtracting, right? So minus 55 times negative 3 times 2.
So negative 330.
30 minus 8 times negative 8 times negative 49. 3,000 what?
3,136.
last one. Negative 5 times negative 22 times negative 5.
550.
No. Negative 550. Great. So then what's negative 735 plus 2,200 plus negative 352?
1,113.
Chink, chink, chink. So 330 plus negative 3,136 plus 550. It's not negative?
No, it is negative 200.
Two.
2,236.
And then finally 1,113 minus 2,256.
Negative
1,140.
That we could probably do on our head, but that's fine. Now what? Do it for Y. What's up, bro?
I have a valid excuse this time.
A valid crash out.
I know.
She had a doctor's
I had a doctor's appointment, so I actually have a reason for being late instead of just having poor time management skills.
Good job.
I know, thank you.
I like how you imply that you're the one with the poor time management
Yeah, no,
skills.
it's really, I'm not driving. It's really you guys, I swear. Yeah, I wish it was me, and then it would be my fault.
But it's not even her fault, guys. On a normal basis.
I mean, once you can drive, then it'll be fun if you're still late. But
Right? Hopefully not. I have sworn.
you have sworn.
Yes, period. No, I have sworn a solemn oath that once I can drive, I will be late like at least 50% less.
At least 50% less. That's funny.
I'm not saying I'm never gonna be late, but
Well, there you go.
I'm trying to be realistic here. Come on, guys.
Sure.
I'm sure you'll do.
Make your goals. Cut them in half. It's a good plan. Six times negative 22 times negative 5.
660.
Negative 49 times negative 8 times negative 5.
Negative 1,960.
2 times negative 5 times 55.
Negative 550.
Agreed.
You wrote it down wrong. I think the bottom one's supposed to be a 3. On the
Which one?
outside,
Oh, yeah, it is.
and then be 1,176.
1,176. Okay. Minus negative 3 times negative 22 times 2.
Positive 136.
Minus 55 times negative 8 times 6.
2640.
I don't respond to that. What number is that? What did you say?
Negative 2640.
What is that number?
2,640. I'm sorry.
2,600.
Shame.
I can't.
There's no shame.
No, there's only shame.
No, stop.
Say the numbers that well.
You can.
I can, or the actual number. Well, I can say the numbers. Oh,
You can say the digits.
yeah, the digits.
Give me the digits. Okay. Minus. Negative 5 times negative 5. Or is that an 8?
It's 3.
It's supposed to be. It's a 5.
What's
Yeah.
a 5?
This. That's kind of covered up.
It's trying.
Okay. Negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 49. I mean, negative something.
Negative 1,225.
'Kay. plus 660 plus negative 1,176 plus negative 550. Ka-chink, 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 ka-chink. Negative 132 plus 2,640 plus 1,225. Negative 1,066 plus 3,733.
Wait, don't think that one's right.
Okay, well, other people check it. 3,733 is what I wrote on the board.
I thought that was a 5.
Where are you seeing a 5, bro?
I thought the 3 was a 5.
You're writing.
The 3 looks like a 5 a little.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Fives
Oh, that's
have a hat for the 5,337th time. Negative 1,066 plus 3,733.
I concur. She didn't even need a calculator for that.
Or she did it hours ago.
Definitely didn't need a calculator, for sure.
Oh, no.
Wink, wink. And then the Z one.
I forgot there was a Z coordinate.
What?
You forgot about the Z.
It was a rhetorical what?
My bad, guys.
I can understand the confusion, but
Well, okay. Most of the time when a person says what, it's because they either didn't hear or didn't understand. So.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's actually true. That would be a doctoral study.
True, true.
How often do people use what in a correct manner?
It would be so hard to chart well enough for a thesis.
It would be very difficult.
Like, so.
You have to sit at the mall food court for hours.
There's a lot of ethics involved in that too. Like, you can't just like.
There's not any ethics. Eavesdropping isn't illegal. Like if you're recording people, like this person whose name is Susan, because I overheard it said that.
No, but there's like a whole board you have to talk to, and I forget the acronym, but they were not super fond of recording what people say without their consent, specifically in the context of a scientific research.
That's probably true.
And they would not approve that. Again, I can't remember the acronym.
All right.
They would not approve that.
Here we go. 6 times 3 times 55.
990. I think, I don't know, I'm just looking at my notes.
Negative 18 times 55, whatever that is.
Okay, I was right.
Plus negative 5 times negative 2 times negative 3.
Negative 330.
Plus negative 49 times negative 5 times 8.
Negative 1,960.
It's definitely positive.
Positive 1,900.
So there's two negatives. 1,960. I find it easier to not make mistakes with the negatives if you don't shove them in the calculator. Just count. And then so do the negatives yourself. You'll make less mistakes that way. Because your fingers will do weird things sometimes. It happens. So minus, for example, this one's going to be negative, right? Because 3 negatives. So 3 times 3 times 49. 441 minus, this was going to be negative, right? 8 times 22 times 6. 1,056. Minus, it's going to be positive, right? 175. Great. We're getting close to the finish line. Negative 990 plus negative 330 plus 1,960 is what? ka-chink, ka-chink, ka-chink. 441 plus 1,056 minus 1,375.
Negative 122.
Are you sure it's negative? It seems like it should be positive.
Oh yeah, it is positive.
Positive 122?
Yeah.
And then 640 plus 122, 762. Easy peasy. Now what?
Now you put all of those numbers over the D.
Yeah. So it's negative 1,143 over 381 and 2,667 over 381 and 762 over 381. And then we reduce those and we get what? Negative 3. Positive, is it 4 or 5? 7? That's crazy. I was off. That's probably 2. Is that 2? We did it. Look, Mom. Are you proud of me now? Any other questions from this lesson before we do the next one? Sure.
Yay, that one's actually fun.
Well, not for all of
Do you mean
us.
less tedious? What's your definition of fun?
Yes, I do mean that.
Okay, good to know.
It is shorter.
Valid. Understandable.
I probably made mistakes along the way, but we'll see.
It's more simple, so therefore it's more fun.
Definitely are not equivalent. Definitely not. Like, almost objectively not.
These phones are not that good. Hey, when it comes to math.
No.
I don't know. So are you gonna say that like one? Does that make like 1 plus 1 the most fun math could possibly
Well,
be?
not generally. There's a gray area.
Okay. No, thank you.
Are you guys actually having an argument if math is fun or not?
I submitted a class for Grace. I don't know whether they'll do it or not. I kind of don't know that she will because it seemed like she was joking about it and not whatever when I asked her about the classes I submitted. Because I submitted 9 classes. So hopefully they accept something. But I submitted one that is entitled Math is Actually Cool or Actually Fun or something like that.
That's a great title, Mr. Sean.
Are you gonna have a lesson on the Collette's conjecture?
I honestly don't know what that is, but maybe.
It's a cool fun math.
I'll have to look it up. All right.
Teach it in that class.
We're going to do all kinds of cool stuff. If that class exists.
If cool is in the name, I would love
You have to teach them my overall set though.
Oh yeah, we'll do fractals for sure. Absolutely.
Yay.
Fractals will absolutely be a part of it.
I submit my music theory presentation as a math is actually cool thing.
So you could do in our final project this year a music theory thing. That could be fun.
Music theory isn't real.
Whoa!
Didn't you do your presentation on a music theory topic?
I did.
It still isn't real.
Oh.
How? Wait, whoa.
This feels like an Ashton is trying to rile people up statement more than.
Like a rage baiter.
Dude, that is such a simple matrix.
No, but it.
What is negative 59 times 50?
What?
I think I just did it in my head, but
42.
yeah, I don't know where I got 35. Because I was talking and writing and thinking at the same time. Too many things stuck in my head. Negative 59 times 50.
Negative 295.
Yeah, that's what my brain told me too. But, you know, we gotta make sure what things are happening. And then 63 times 7.
441.
And then that combined together is negative 736. I didn't do this one for some reason. 92. That'd be negative 630. That's easy money. Minus negative 6 times 59 would be 300 plus, yeah. Ka-chink, ka-chink, and we end up with negative something. 276. So we get negative 736 over 92, negative 276 over 92. So x equals what?
Negative 8.
And y?
-3. Yay.
Kramer's rule for a 2x2 system is honestly a pretty great method. You could make some level of argument about which one of the methods is the easiest for a 2x2 system. I think Kramer's rule is up there as far as always working out fairly easy. It's a good solid method.
Is it easier than like multiplication?
Elimination, you mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe. I mean, it depends. It's more laid out, so it's easier for your brain to not make a dumb mistake. So, as long as you're kind of following the rules. All right, let's look at, inverses. We did 2 through 34.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2, no. Number 4, no. Number 6 is matrix 0, negative 1/3, negative 1/4, negative 1/6. Number 8 does not exist. Number 10, 4, negative 3. Number 12, 12 quarters and 17 dimes. Number 4, no. Number 16, no. Number 18, 2x2 matrix, negative 2/5, 3/5, 3/5, negative 2/5. Number 20, 2x2 matrix, 1/7, negative 1/7, negative 6/7, negative 1/7. 22, negative 2, negative 9/4, negative 1, negative 5/4. 24, negative 4/9, negative 1/9, 7/18. Negative 2/9. 26 is 6 milliliters of the red food coloring and 19 milliliters of the blue food coloring. 28, negative 3/0. 30, 3/4, 3/4. 32, 1.50.
Somebody drive a Toyota SUV that's kind of black in here. Black Toyota SUV. You drive it? Okay. It got hit. It was a little parking lot accident.
Oh, okay.
But I want you to look. Can I steal here for a second? Here you go.
It's not even mine, it's my mom's car.
Well, that's
Okay.
fine. So.
All right. Anyway, as I was saying before disaster struck, 32, 1.50, and 34, negative 30, negative 8. What questions do we have on those?
10.
Sure. Two. -3. So were you supposed to use the matrix equation to solve this guy? So what should we do?
Find the inverse first.
Okay, great. Inverse of what?
The 4, 6, -2.
Okay, how do we do that?
You have to use you multiply across and then
So you do the determinant, right?
Yeah, the determinant.
1 over the determinant, in fact.
Yeah.
So 1 over 4 times 9 is
30.
32 minus 6 times 2 is 12, and it's negative.
36, right?
So where are you getting 36?
4 times
Oh yeah, why did I write 32? Because you told me. It's all your fault. 1 over 48. Great. And now what? Bruh,
Now you
trying to find all my mistakes.
No, now you multiply that times the 2, 4 over 6. No, the matrix is 4, -2, 6.
Nah, we gotta shuffle it.
Oh yeah, you have to flip.
+2,
Yeah.
-6, 4.
Yeah, so these change this base. So the 9 is here, the 4 is here. These change signs. So 2, -6. So 1 over 48 times 9 is what?
It's
9/48, but it definitely reduces.
2.
3/16. And then 1 over 48 times 2 is
1 over 20.
4. True. 1/24. 1/48 times -6 is
-1/8.
1 over 48 times 4.
1 over 12. You multiply that times 22 and then -3.
What?
You have to you have to divide it.
Multiply both sides by the inverse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which side does this go on? The left or the right?
The right.
Are you sure? This is a 2 by 1, right? And we're multiplying that times a 2 by 2. So can it go on the right? No.
Oh, I meant left.
Wow, you have your mother's disease.
Dyslexia?
That's not dyslexia, but he could have it. That's possible. But
No, it's the left and right thing is dyslexia.
it can be. That would be like super low on the evidence. There's plenty of people that have left and right issues that don't.
Stereotype,
Okay, well that's true enough. That's true enough.
Stereotype your son and wife.
Don't stereotype me, Mr. Sean. That's kind of mean.
I was not. I was talking about real science. That one was using stereo, and you're blaming me.
Why are you victim blaming?
That
That's
is
crazy.
egregious.
Okay, never mind. I blame you now. Don't stereotype
Hey,
people.
hey, hey, hey. We're supposed to gang up on him.
But he's
I would argue that neither one of us are always nice.
I would argue that 0 people are nice all the time.
Well, that's true enough. Now what? Yeah, you got to do it. So what's 3/16 times 22? What? 33/8.
Oh yeah.
Sounds great. Oh, heaven help us. Freaking trailer life nonsense, bull crap people.
Is that William?
It isn't even freaking trailer life bull crap. It's just junior high bull crap. Okay. Anyway, come back. These always been gold?
I don't know.
This is the same one you've always had.
Oh,
Yes?
yeah, you mean mine, yes. It's always been gold.
Well, I guess I've seen it closed. That's why I was thinking the teeth were black. Okay, anyway. Yeah. What am I saying? 33/8 plus 1/24 times -3. -1/8. It's almost like we planned it. Next row, -1/8 times 22. -11/4.
For multiplying, you just go across the top. You don't have to find like the bottom. The bottoms have to be the same.
You don't have to have a common denominator for multiplying. Yeah. And then 1/12 times -3.
4.
Definitely not 4/3. -1/4.
Yeah.
That's what you meant. Totally. Now what?
Now you add 30.
Yeah. 32/8, which is what?
-31. Oh no, just 31.
No.
No, 32/8.
Which is what? That's what I said.
Oh. 8/4. Wait.
What's 32 divided by 8?
4.
4. Then what's the next one? I'll say less words. Maybe that will cause less twisties.
3.
-3 sounds totally accurate. And honestly, for a 2x2 system, I kind of like this method the best. It's the shortest. If you get over your fear of fractions a wee bit, it's a great method. Almost every time, if you get used to pre-reducing in your head, you could almost always like do these totally in your head. Like each step, not like start to finish, but I like this method. It's a great method. You will have to do 1 or 2 on the test. You'll have to, in order to get 100 on the test, you'll have to be able to do all the methods.
When is our next test?
Thursday.
That's what I thought.
To remind everyone, to remind you specifically, turn in your stuff on Google Classroom. I'm putting you on blast in front of everybody so that maybe you'll do it. It would be great.
I do the work, but then I forget to turn it in.
I believe that, believe it or not. You couldn't have made the grades you made on those quizzes if you hadn't have done the work. But get it turned in. Anyway, if you're having trouble getting on Google Classroom, let me know and I'll help you. That's easy peasy. That's easy money. We can fix that. We can fix that real fast. For everyone, I list when the tests are, and you get that notification just like with as much advance warning as everything else. It's just not on the classwork page. It's on the announcements page. On the announcements page is where that shows up, which I have said before, and I probably won't be the last time I say it. But to remind you, that's where it is. It's on the announcements page. The unit blankety blank test is scheduled for blankety bloop, and then you will know.
Thursday.
It is. Thursday, October, whatever that is, 23rd or something, 4th, 2nd, I don't know, 3rd, I think. Yeah, that's what my brain was thinking, but it gets confused sometimes. Have any other questions from this lesson?
Wait, the 21st is today.
Yeah, that's what she said. That's what she said, but I didn't even mean it that way. We can do 20.
Listening comprehension is hard things, and it's okay.
Find the inverse of each matrix if it exists. Great, grand, glorious. We shall slow down on that bit, on this particular problem, to make sure we've got it, because I kind of fast forwarded last time and nobody screamed about it, which either means you all got it or you all glazed over.
Well, it's spooky season. We're all just so tired of screaming.
I get so tired of Halloween. So annoying. My favorite holiday is Halloween. I don't care.
I'd rather skip on
I don't know. Halloween annoys me.
because you don't understand the concept, or because you think it's Satanism?
Neither.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't. So it is. If you ever see a video or something where somebody is claiming, and Halloween is the highest day in the Satanic calendar because I was a Satanist. They were never a Satanist. That's false. That is not true. It is not, in fact, the highest day in the Satanic calendar. That's not remotely true. In fact, Satanism probably isn't what you think it is. It is evil, but it's probably not evil in the way you think it's evil. Probably, if you don't actually know anything about Satanism, it is definitely evil, just probably not how you think. And Halloween did, in fact, the celebrating of the day. Now it morphed and combined a lot of things, and American capitalism took over, and now it's about selling costumes and whatever else, and candy and all that other nonsense. So whatever, your mileage may vary, but it was in fact started by the Catholic Church. That is absolutely true. Not Halloween, but All Saints' Eve was absolutely a Catholic thing. Still is, actually, in a way. But I think Halloween is stupid. And I do have an issue with celebrating death. And I do not think it's satanic like this holiday. If you believe that, that's fine. I don't have I'm not going to argue with you. Like I'm not going to try to fight that, because that's fine. Like that makes sense. That's easy money. That's easy money. Now, if you're like telling me, little kid, you're going to hell because you dressed up as a pumpkin and went door to door, I may fight you on that. I may fight you there. We may have a discussion about that. But I also, for me and my house, don't like the idea of either celebrating death or evil spirits or any of those things. And I also don't like the concept of, if you don't give me candy, I'm going to rough up your house, which is the whole idea of trick or treat and whatever else.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know it's not that now, and nobody does that as a tradition. I just don't like the concept. And so for me in my house, I don't celebrate Halloween.
Valid. Understandable. So what is your favorite holiday?
Christmas, easy. That's easy money.
So you'd rather skip home to go straight to Christmas?
I have to thank Thanksgiving. It's pretty nice.
I argue, my argument is that Thanksgiving is a part of the same holiday as Christmas. It's all one big holiday season. It's all about giving thanks for a specific thing, in my view. But anyway, yeah. So Thanksgiving and Christmas, same holiday.
Same.
There's no Thanksgiving music. Doesn't exist. I will start listening to Christmas music on November 1st. That is a thing that happens.
That's very understandable.
I don't decorate until later. After Thanksgiving, like usually the weekend after Thanksgiving, we go get Christmas tree and whatever else. That's what we'd like to do. That's just our tradition. I don't care if you decorate in July, whatever. Who cares? Let people have their Christmas holidays. Leave Mariah Carey alone. Anyway, we're supposed to find the inverse of this if it exists. So, what should we do? We should first find the determinant. How do you define the determinant of a 2x2 matrix?
Multiply AD minus BC.
Yeah, all those letters, true. Down diagonals minus up diagonals, right? 1 times -1 is -1. Easy money, right? And then minus the up diagonals. -6 times -1 is +6, which might be a place where you made a mistake. If your argument, this just throwing one thing that keeps, which is one of the reasons why usually I just kind of roll with it and it's fine, but sometimes it irritates me when y'all are when y'all say answers and stuff when I haven't asked the question and I'm saying stuff out loud. Because what happens is if I say it out loud, it's this and this and this, then I usually will write that thing. And so learn to do that yourself. You can even do that test if you learn how to subvocalize, which is talking without making really any sound. And it's totally a thing that you can learn how to do. If you're an auditory out loud processor like I am, you should practice subvocalization and learn how to do that. It is a great way to start making as many mistakes. So, -1 minus 6 is -7. One over -7. And we take the down diagonal and we switch the order, right? So this -1 goes here. And this 1 goes here. And these we switch the signs, so they switch to both positive, 6 and then +1. Easy peasy, that's how to do it. And then you just do do scalar multiplication, which is that times each one of the pieces, right? 1 times -1 times -1/7 is +1/7. -1/7 times 1 is -1/7. -1/7 times 6 is -6/7. -1/7 times 1 is -1/7.
Well, that was simple.
It was.
I like that one.
Good. I'm glad you do.
Short and simple.
I'm glad you do. I can do 28. Hopefully, by the time we do it, you can also do 28. Ha ha ha. The real question is, do you believe in life after love?
Boo, get off the stage. What?
Leave my spoken word album alone.
No,
If William Shatner can do it, I can do it.
that is factually untrue.
Well, see, my sentence would, the word that's coming to mind is preclude, which is clearly not the word that goes in that sentence, but that would indicate that William Shatner could in fact do it, which if you've ever heard William Shatner's spoken word album, I'm not sure that you would agree that he could. Okay, great, we're supposed to solve this, so we should first find the inverse of the coefficient matrix. Same idea, do the determinant, right? We'll go ahead and write it out. So we've got -1, 1, -2, 1. Do the determinant first. We're doing 1 over. -1 times 1 is -1. -2 times 1 is -2.
Yay!
Ka-chink, ka-chink. 1 over 1 is 1. That's lovely. We like that. That's so much fun. Because 1 times the twisted up matrix is the twisted up matrix. So we just need the twisted up matrix. So the twisted up matrix is 1 here, -1 here, and 2 here, and -1 here. And then multiply that times matrix 3, 6. Pick up sticks. 1 times 3 is 3. -1 times 6 is -6. Jump to the second column. 2 times 3 is 6. Plus -1 times 6 is -6. 3 plus -6 is -3. And 6 plus -6 is 0. The other thing I like about this method is if somebody that only has learned substitution or elimination looks at this, it looks like magic. Because I kind of chicken scratched a few things on the board and I have the answer. Whereas if you were doing the elimination and stuff, you'd have to have all this stuff and whatever else. So it's kind of fun. I like this method. It's a good one. If you don't like it, get over it. You'll be fine. All right, kiddos. We have a test on Thursday. Don't forget that if you want the answers to the practice test, They are a message away. Pre-Cal's getting back a test today. We'll see how they feel about it.